Chapter 2. Gold-swallowing divine beast. The businessmen of the Grand Han Royal Casino, all of them with the good hands in business, that Gu Hai had drawn off from the four directions of the world. All of them with the talents that had been cultivated in Gu Hai's business empire in the past, and they were all aware of the great responsibility that they had at the moment, as they were mobilized at the Casino Royale. Although relatively busy, but a group of businessmen, but incomparable exuberance and enthusiasm. Because the ancient sea has always been the rule, the more labor, the more pay. There is a commission all. Now the commission is more than just money. There are also spirit stones, large amounts of spirit stones. The salesman Su Mo is one of them. This time business down, has long developed a pair of fiery eyes. A long way away, I saw 21 people dressed in gorgeous walk. That body of clothing, a glance at it is known, ordinary people wear, noble full, immortal all. An arrow step, Su Mo rushed up. Not far away a few businessmen see Su Mo a step faster. A burst of chest-pounding foot. Good in the surrounding cultivators, also did not care too much. Immortals, in the next big Han Royal Casino Resort's marketing salesman. If you do not give up, in the next for all the immortals as a tour guide how? I will definitely let you immortals feel at home, Su Mo politely welcomed with a smile. Marketing salesman, tour guide. Li Shenji looked blankly at the extremely polite man in front of him. All superior immortals, please follow me. I'll first take you to visit the Yuanying stone wall outside the Great Han Palace. That's the most focal point of the Great Han Dynasty. All immortals who come here will go to have a look at it, Su Mo explained. The crowd looked at Su Mo blankly. After Li Shenji made sure that Su Mo wasn't recognizing himself, he finally nodded. Along the way, many more such teams were seen, and some of the Taoists at the front of the team were holding small flags and greeting dozens of cultivators who were looking around. Oh, those over there are scattered groups, dozens of immortals from all over the Thousand Islands Sea, and don't really know each other. That businessman greeted them with small flags for fear of them getting lost. After all, there are too many immortals who come to sightsee, Su Mo introduced. Li Shenji, scattered tours. This has become an industry. The group followed Su Mo to the mountain wall outside the palace. At this moment, the mountain wall was already surrounded by nearly 10,000 cultivators, and one businessman explained the origins of this mountain wall in a colorful manner. Do you all see this? There are 89 Yuanying realm immortals up here, all of them nailed to death. They were all trying to break into the palace. Oh, look, there's another one over there, the 90th one. Think back then, there were only 5 Yuanying realms in total on the 9-5 islands. And my Great Han Dynasty doesn't tolerate those who come to make trouble at all. Su Mo pointed to the distance and said. Hiss, the crowd behind Li Shenji sucked in their breath, their faces twitching. Not only them, but the 10,000 or so people who had gathered here to watch were everywhere in shocked, inexplicable huffing. Killing chickens to warn monkeys. Here, a cold smile appeared on Li Shenji's face. Battalion Master, with this mountain wall in place, as long as the cultivators that come, they won't trespass into the Great Han Palace, right? A subordinate frowned. A tour guide. Oh, although it's a bit contrived, but the effect is indeed remarkable. Describing this brutal fact with a narrative of such a calm attitude, the impact on the hearts of all the onlookers is huge. Yuanying realm. This is to declare to the world that the Great Han Dynasty is even more powerful than they imagined. 90 Yuanying realms, all of them are not in their eyes, don't you? Know that these 90 Yuanying realms did not attack the palace together. Li Shenji sneered. All of you immortals, have you seen it yet? Below is our Royal Casino Resort. All of you follow me. That's our destination for this trip. Su Mo came from not far away and laughed. Let's go, Li Shenji curiously said. Before coming, Li Shenji was not expecting that Gu Hai would set up so many guided tours here. Li Shenji's group walked along with Sumo for a short while and soon arrived at the Casino Royale resort. The crowd had just walked to the entrance. To columns of 200 people in uniforms, gave an extremely respectful salute, and said, "Welcome Supreme Immortal. Supreme Immortal inside please." Li Shenji and the others stared wide-eyed. "These are the resort's welcoming guests. All of you Immortals can just follow me, right? All of you Immortals. Are you staying for a long time, or are you leaving tonight? If you are staying for a long time, I'll help you to register for a place to stay," Sumo said extremely considerately. "Stay long," Li Shenji frowned and said. "Then come with me. See, the villa complex over there. Most of the villa clusters have been rented out. There is still a little bit left over there, not much more. Divided into 9 classes. The highest level villa, a top grade spirit stone a day. Inside the swimming pool, billiard room, fitness facilities. There are some fruit juice drinks, wine snacks, a single house with a courtyard, the best view. You guys if you need it. There are also foot spa, massage, gua sha, hot springs and other leisure services," Sumo introduced. "A top-grade spirit stone to stay for a day. You're not going to grab it?" A person behind him immediately glared and drank. Sumo didn't get angry and said, "I said. This place is divided into 9 classes. The 9th class has 10 lower grade spirit stones for a day, a difference of 1,000 times. However, the 9th class is a standard room. Of course, there are also duplex villas, stacked villas, and ordinary flats. Just at best," Li Shenji faintly said. Sumo's eyes lit up. This group is a tycoon or lodging themselves with a commission, later on introducing them to gambling. Surely, it is also a throw of money or the commission is even bigger. "All of you Immortals this side please, don't worry. I'll do everything for you," Sumo said with a smile. Foot massage, gua sha, these leisure industries. When Guhai was in business in the past, he had already opened up the world. He just moved it all to the resort at this moment. Sumo led the crowd into a villa. Some novelties. Looking at the crowd for a while dazzling. In the villa did a pedicure. The crowd is a burst of refreshing, although some odd, but still slowly accepted. Sumo has been waiting patiently. After all, to do pedicure is also to pay. Sumo have a commission. Next, are you all going to the restaurant first, or to the casino? The restaurant has our local specialty ingredients. There are the best chefs for you to cook carefully. Go to the Royal Casino. Is the most exciting project of my great Han dynasty. Lottery, horse betting, blackjack, pick as much as you want. Guarantee that you guys will fight for 3 days and 3 nights without wanting to get off the table, Sumo introduced. Every time Sumo said an unfamiliar term, it made the crowd feel like they were bumpkins. "You guys are the bumpkins, okay? We are from the Divine Continent." The crowd followed Sumo to the casino in disbelief. 3 days later, Li Shenji has long returned to the villa, a long way away, looking at the distant Great Han Palace, frowning slightly. In the sky above the Great Han Palace, the chi was still too small, but it was in the midst of constantly increasing. Battalion Master, Old 8 was beaten by Guhai's people. A few subordinates ran in and anxiously said, "HM, what happened?" Li Shenji looked at a subordinate with cold eyes. "We were in the middle of the Royal Casino in the past few days. Those gambles are indeed novel. However, we kept losing and kept losing. Finally Old 8 lost sharply, so he cursed the casino for cheating. As a result, the Royal Casino actually had a big formation, restrained Old 8 and beat him up. Fortunately, the previous businessman Sumo came up. Otherwise, that subordinate's face was ugly and said, Old 8 lost sharply. How could Old 8 lose in a hurry? Before coming, I remember that Old 8 brought 100 top-grade spirit stones with him all." Li Shenji looked at the man with a swollen nose at the back of the crowd. A swollen nose. He hadn't even done anything to Guhai yet. and his own man was beaten black and blue. Lost it all. Old 8 rubbed his face and hung his head in shame. Lost all. Are you here to lose? Li Shenji's eyes glared and said, It's not just me. The others have lost almost as much. Just in these 3 days, we've lost almost 2,000 top-grade spirit stones to the Great Han Royal Casino. Old 8 lowered his head and said. Li Shenji stared at the crowd with glaring eyes. Lost everything. I asked you guys to go spy on information these past few days, and you went to gamble. Even if you gambled money, you actually lost it all naked. Upper Immortal. This can't be blamed on the Royal Casino. All of you Upper Immortals gambled too much. How many people were watching at that time? The biggest one actually bet 300 upper grade spirit stones. It's only our casino that dares to take it. Sumo on the side immediately laughed bitterly. You go out. We have something to say. Li Shenji said in a cold voice. Good. I'll wait outside. If you all have any requests, let me know right away. Sumo went out very politely. In these 3 days, his own commission was the envy of a group of colleagues. It was true that it was still the most lucrative to find a tycoon group. Sumo went out. Li Shenji coldly looked at a group of subordinates in front of him. At the moment, his heart is in shock. What's the situation? Or have you all soaked in the casino these days? Li Shenji said with cold eyes. No, it's their casino cheating. They cheated. Old 8 whispered. Bullshit. Li Shenji's eyes glared and said, I have studied it all. There is no cheating in this casino. Winning or losing is just a matter of probability. They make money with probability. Are you all crazy about gambling? A group of people bowed their heads and didn't dare to speak. Li Shenji reprimanded and also slowly suppressed his fire. Turning his head, he looked at the Casino Royale in the distance. A wave of gravity flashed through Li Shenji's eyes. This Guhai does have some tricks up his sleeve. Casino Royale. It's a gold-swallowing beast. Huh. Great Han. HMPH. Great Han Palace. Upper study room. Guhai is in the middle of approving documents, but Guqin is bringing Sumo to come. Herberist Sumo pays his respects to the Emperor. Long live the Emperor. Sumo was extremely excited and bowed down, seeing the Emperor for the first time. Father. Li Shenji sends his obeisance. Guqin handed over a purple golden post. Li Shenji, Li Haoran's uncle. Guhai steeply raised his eyebrows and stopped the brush in his hand. Extremely cautious, he received the post. Now that Li Shenji has landed and stayed at the Casino Royal Resort, he was received by this businessman and has been here for 4 days. Guqin solemnly said. Oh, 4 days. What are they doing these 4 days? Guhai's expression shifted, and he looked at Sumo with incomparable gravity. Back to the Emperor. The chief Li Shenji only gambled a little on the first day. The other 20 people gambled every day for the past few days. And as a result, they lost bare and clean, and were ready to make a big mess in the casino. And then they were restrained by the array and were beaten up. After Li Shenji reprimanded a group of subordinates, he asked me to send the invitation to pay my respects. Sumo respectfully said, Gambling, lost all your money, and got beaten up by you guys. Guhai was slightly stunned.